Hi everyone, my name is Kyunhee Z. I am professor in the Korea Maritime University. Today is our lecture about is a Korean Ship Act. So this case is I will explain is our Koreans is registry and the registration about the ship and vessels.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In this movie I decided to show you the cargo ship, the bulk area, where we are for the moment. This is motor vessel Lady Charm, Cape-size bulk area, and I will try to make some excursion to show you the vessel. This is not the Discovery Channel, this is not National Geographic. This is a movie about the ships, about the shipping, about the seamen, and this movie is made by seamen. Let's go to take a look. This is the forward part of the ship. The most important machinery of this part is the anchor gear. This is the anchor chain which is using to hold our anchor. As you know, the anchor used to hold the vessel when the vessel is not berthed. Also, this is the place where situated the mooring equipment. Vessel has the 16 mooring ropes. Arrangement is made in order to moor the vessel to the wharf when the vessel stays at port. Now we are on the main deck. The main deck is the most wide space on the board of the cargo ship. Because Lady Charm is the cargo ship, it's intended to carry cargo. 90% of space is occupied cargo space. Vessel is divided for 9 cargo compartments. Using these rails, the part of this hatch cover is moving aside, and then we have access to the cargo holds. For this kind of ships, frequent cargo is iron ore, coal, the concentrates, and that's it, because no more other cargoes are transported on our planet in such a big quantities. Sometimes if you want to walk from the forward to aft, it takes you for 3, 4, 5 minutes. If you have some urgent duty in one end of the ship and you should go to another end of the ship, so you should keep in mind that you need 3, 4, 5 minutes in order to pass from one end of the ship to another. In particular case, we have the cargo of coal, which this vessel brought from the South Africa, Richards Bay. And now we are discharging this cargo in the Vietnam using the floating crane, very low performance by the way, and it takes about 3 weeks to discharge. Even the half even the half of the cargo, we need 3 weeks to discharge like this. This is the most frequently used device, machinery in order to discharge. It's called grab. Grabbing the cargo and then bringing it ashore. This is the accommodation, or how it's called sometimes the superstructure. This construction is actually the house of us, of the seamen, the place where we are living, where all the controls of the vessel are situated. This accommodation has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decks, or how it's called the shore floors. The living spaces of the crew are situated on these decks. The last deck is the bridge deck, from where we are making the command of the vessel, from where we are navigating, from where we are keeping the watch. Motor vessel Lady Charm is called motor vessel because it has a motor, and motor is obviously using the fuel. In our case, vessel is equipped with a diesel engine with the power something around 17,000 kilowatts. This is the bunkering manifold. We are using these pipes in order to refill the tanks of the ship with the new fuel. The bunkering ship, which is the small tanker, is coming to the side of the ship, and then we are using this crane in order to pick up the hose and bring this hose, make connection and start pumping. This process is called bunkering because the fuel of the ship is called bunker, and bunkering is very important process. It's very critical. This is a rescue boat. From this name we can see that it's designed for the rescue. The main purpose of this boat to pick up some person which falls overboard, or sometimes used for some other rescue situations. Designed for the 6 people, and it's lowered using this davit. By the way, this is quite dangerous, and according to statistics, big number of accidents during the lowering of the rescue boat. Sometimes we have 5 meters waves, and this boat is not reliable enough, so we should double check. And this is a free fall lifeboat. In order to send it to the sea, we are using free fall method. There are securing points here and here, and in cases when we need to send this boat to the sea, we are just using the hydraulic pump and releasing the jack, releasing the hook and going to the sea. There are big disadvantages that crew experience very big stress when they are falling inside the boat. Sufficient stress for your body, but the advantage is it is almost guaranteed that the boat will be able to be sent to the sea. It will be released. Chances for the surviving are increasing. Okay, this is the main deck inside of the accommodation. There are only the technical compartments here, and let's say here we have a laundry space. Here we have a fire control station, instruments in order to control the fire, extinguish to control the vessel in fire safety respects. This is the gymnasium in case if you want to play ping pong, or this is the changing rooms. Change rooms, the crew is changing here to the working overalls. Here, air conditioner room, another one changing room, entrance to the engine room. And now we are entering to the engine room. This is the engine room, the engine space, where installed all the ship's machinery. Here you can see this is the main engine, 3 diesel generator engines, boiler, incinerator, and many pumps, compressors, and other various machinery. The half of the crew is working in the engine space, and it's very critical and important place on board the ship. Now we are in the engine control room. This space is used to control all the machineries, all the equipment on board of the ship. This is the place from where the engineers are monitoring all the alarms, all the parameters of the machinery on board, electric system as well. As you can see, the system of this vessel is fully electronically controlled. How does it work? Hundreds of sensors are split in the engine, in the compressors, in the pipings, in the pumps, everywhere. And the parameters of this machinery are transmitted to the control room, from where we are also have instruments in order to control the machinery. Also, this main switchboard is controlling the electromechanical arrangement of the ship. This is the place where the engineers are spending their work time on board, day by day, many months. And also we will take a chance to take the brief interview. This is the oiler.
Oiler Jewel Cyclone.
What can you say about the work in the engine room?
The work of the engine crew is nice. It's okay. Sometimes it's very hard.
And also we took the chance to take interview of the chief engineer of this vessel.
I'm Chief Engineer Alberto Dinsing of Maritime Charm. I'm okay.
Tell me, how many years did you spend in the sea?
About 15 years. I don't know, 18 years. My chief engineer about 3.5 years as a chief engineer.
What is the most difficult in the job of the engineer?
Too much. Difficult, especially when troubleshooting. The engine is trouble. That is very, very difficult for us.
The loading of the vessel is the process when we are bringing cargo and distributing in the cargo holds, and same time we are removing the ballast from our ballast tanks. When we are loading our ship, we are putting the cargo here and pumping out the ballast from here. If we are discharging the ship, we are placing the ballast here and removing the cargo from the cargo hold. There is a special place on board of the ship. It's called Ballast and Cargo Control Room. This room is designed to monitor the discharging and loading operation. This console is designed in order to control the ballast system of the vessel. Here is the place where chief officer is looking how the vessel is discharged. As you see, it's very easy to monitor what is going on deck. Also, very important, the Lady Charm is 290 meters long. It's about 300 meters, quite long piece. But imagine that thickness of the metal of the hull is only 22 millimeters. 22 millimeters and 300 meters. It is very easy to break the vessel. In case if you will make the loading and discharging operation incorrectly, the vessel can be easily broken. In order to avoid the stress, we are using the special software. The special software which is intended to monitor the major stresses and stability of the ship. Shearing force and bending moment is the most important parameters for the loading and discharging of the vessel. Stability diagrams is the most important for the going to the sea. If the vessel is loaded incorrectly, sometimes it also can capsize, like this. The loading and discharging vessel is the very critical process. That's why the officer in charge for these duties is the most experienced and most qualified officer, is the chief officer. This is the chief officer of motor vessel Lady Charm.
Yes, sir. Hi. I am a chief officer of Lady Charm, Francisco Focoy, sir.
Okay, very good,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
What do you think, what is the most difficult in chief officer's job?
The most difficult for the chief officer job, sir, is loading operation. Discharging operation is not so difficult, and we are just removing the cargo from the vessel to unload. But the loading operation, sir, that is most critical because especially we are pumping out ballast. Once we load Dampier, Australia, because they are very fast loading, sir. You cannot compensate with our ballast, and that is the problem. And also the stability of the ship.
Okay.
Because if you delay, the stability is not so good. So you must have to compensate whatever the loading situation is in progress, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many years have you spent in the sea?
Since 1998.
Tell me, if you would have chance to choose the different career, would you change your mind?
No, sir. No. This is my life, sir. So I never regret regarding my profession. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chief. Have a safe trip. Have a safe operation. Bye.
One of the most critical operations on board is the inspection of the ballast water tank. This is the confined space, and there really can be a lack of the oxygen. In order to fix this problem, we are using the gas detector and then closed entry procedure. This is the special checklist. Calibration should be done at the fresh air, so we cannot use our standard safety shoes. We are using the rubber boots. So we are inside of the ballast tank, and what actually we have to inspect here. First of all is structural integrity and coating condition. As you can see here, there are some problems with coating which later should be rectified. The next important thing what we're going to check the anode protection. This element is designed to prevent the steel of the vessel from the early decomposing. Another very important thing is deposits of mud. We should monitor the condition of welding seams. Every bulk carrier is the very long and very wide steel vessel. In fact, it's very fragile. The welding seams all the time experiencing the dynamic and static stress. Unfortunately, by means of inspections, like we are doing now, it's not possible to inspect all welding seams because there are hundreds of kilometers, I would say, of welding seams which cannot be surveyed. This is actually the smallest tank. It can accommodate 1,000 cubical meters of the ballast, so it's very small. We are going to the double bottom water tank, placed below sea level. It's more difficult space.
Okay, we are finally down. Bottom line of the ship. We are about 15 meters below the sea level. As you can see, the mud deposits on the double bottom part is quite high. We have completed our inspection. I decided to take the interview from my today's assistant. This is A.B.J. Lelibios, and ask his opinion about the life of seaman, about the seaman's life. So tell me, Jay, what you think about the profession of the seaman?
Okay, sir. I think the life of seaman is very hard stuff, not very easy. You know, some guys, some people say that seaman is too much money. The seaman's job is very hard, and our life is always in danger. See, very far from home. Sometimes, if there's some emergency, we don't have doctor on board, so we need to keep safe.
And how do you feel about such a thing that you are spending, let's say, 70 to 80% of your life on board?
So, about that, that's true. Many seafarers spend their life on the sea because to provide needs for their family. You know, because in some country, in like our country, there's easiest way to build and give support to our family is to become a seafarer.
Okay, what is your plans for future? For next 10-20 years?
Maybe if I have a good health, I want to become like you, sir. That's my dream. So I need to build and study. So as now, I'm here working as a rating, so I need to study more.
But when you will get your officer's license?
Maybe after I completion my papers, because in Philippines, very hard to take examination. Too much paper. And need also such a big money like investment.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going out. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ooh, it was not easy. The next bosun comes. This is the recreation room, the space where crew can have a cigarette, spend some time together, sing some karaoke, watch some movies, and this is the common space when the crew spending its time. Normally the people come in here by the evening. This is the officers' mess room. One mess room is for the officers, another is for ratings, and the next place is the galley. Here is the galley of this vessel. This is the place where all the food is cooked, and if you go further, after the galley, you can see the other space, provision area. It normally has three most important compartments. This area is designed for dry provision. More important part is the refrigerator rooms. That's the vegetable room. So here we are holding the wedges in order to prepare our food. The next is dairy room. This is the fish room. The fish and meat always stored separately. And this is the meat room. The places where we are storing the meat, chicken, and so on. Maintaining the temperatures in the refrigerator room is very important. And the failure of the refrigeration plant to keep the temperature is the very big problem. So as you can see, this panel is controlling the temperatures of the refrigeration plant, and in case the temperature goes up, we have an immediate alarm. This vessel has 7 decks, and sometimes it takes you a lot of power in order to move between decks. So for this situation, the vessel is equipped with elevator. Let's get in, please. We go to the deck E. And I want to show you one more place. This is the cabin, the living quarters of the crew. This is how it looks like. Normally it has the place where we store our clothes, the table, sometimes fridge, sofa, the bed, and toilet with the shower. Here we can see our ship. Below our legs we have a navigational bridge. This is the wheelhouse, and wheelhouse is situated on the highest point, so you have a best review of what is going on around the ship. This is the bridge wing, the wings of the bridge, and the place, especially when you are berthing the ship and observing any other critical operation, the officer, pilot or captain is coming to this position and observing how it is going on. And also from this bridge we can access the wheelhouse itself, from where we are navigating the vessel. Here we have all necessary equipment in order to make a safe navigation. The charts, by the way, we don't have any more paper chart. The radars. The radars is most important part, which allows us to see in the night time. The steering wheel. This is how it looks like. Many people imagine that it should be something huge, made of wood, but no. And also one big stereotype that captain is personally steering the vessel. It's not true. Normally it's done by able seamen. And controls, controls, controls. Radio equipment, everything we need for communication. And this is the conventional radio equipment, which called GMDSS. And this is the chart table. Normally the name of the chart table means that there is a chart. Now we're using only the electronic charts. For the moment, only the paperwork has been done here. By the way, here we can see our officers, which are, I believe they are changing the watch. No, what are you doing now?
Continuous from 6 o'clock until now.
Okay. Okay, so today is 30th of June,
Yeah.
and you are preparing the documents, the files, the reports.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, how long you spend in the sea? How many years?
About 10 years.
Second officer. And you?
Almost 15 years, and stay in this company almost running 7 years.
That's it. We have made the excursion in all the compartments of the vessel. I was going to take the interview from the captain of the ship, the Captain Alexander, and ask him a couple of questions. And since he's very busy with some of his duties, fortunately I'm also the captain and spent a lot of years commanding the similar type of the vessels. So I can ask the questions to myself and say something. The seaman's life is not easy, you know, and up to 80% of our lifetime we are spending in the sea. Sometimes it seems that we should not do that, and this life is too difficult and there are no enough benefits to do so. But I don't know how does it work, but most of the seamen, after they're coming back home, after 1 or 2 months rest, they are thinking about the coming back to the vessel, because seems like this is their life and this is how they are living in their lifestyle. I wish you good luck. Thank you very much for watching the video. You can click finger up, you can subscribe. I want to say thank you to the crew of the motor vessel Lady Charm and to my assistant. Today is the operator Jay. Let me show you. This is the Jay. He was assisting me today. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. See you online. Bye.
So I make the table of contents is a total 7. Its first is the purpose and the key contents of the Ship Act. Second is the definition of the ship and the applicability. And the 3 is the nationality and the special rights of Korean ship. And the 4 is the ship identifiers. 5 is the public disclosure system of ship. And 6 is a certificate of vessel's nationality. Last is the Ship Act is the exemptions and special treatment of small ships. First is the purpose and key contents of the Ship Act of Korea. First is I'd like to check the purpose of this Korean Ship Act. It is mentioned in the Article 1 of this Korean Ship Act. Okay, so I read the regulations. Is for your attention. The purpose of the Ship Act is stipulate is the matter related to the nationality, the tonnage measurement, and the registration of a ship. Therefore, the key contents of the Act include its requirement and the process is for registry and the registrations is for getting the certificate of vessel's nationality and the methods of the tonnage measurement. Furthermore, the Ship Act is aimed to contribute to protecting national interests and improving the national economy. So I ask you your focus is what is the vessel and what is the registry and the registration to the Korean ship. The second is the definition of ship and applicabilities. It's about this one is mentioned as Article 1 is Paragraph 2 is definition. This definition is explain about the type of the ship. There are 3 types of ships. The first one is the steamship. Second is the sail ship. Last is the barge. So I explains about the type of the ship each by each. Article 1 and Paragraph 2 of the Ship Act is broadly classifies the definition of the ship into 3 categories. First is a steamship, second is the sail ship, and the last is the barge. The classification of the ships depends on how they were propelled. In other words, steamships are propelled by an engine, sail ships by wind, last is barge barge has no any powers to move. So this barge is moved by other vessels. So a barge is referred to those that cannot move on its own. Okay, so first is the steamship. So our ship is propelled by an engine or a wing in ground crafts. Secondary is sail ship is propelled is by wind and sails. Therefore, if a ship has both an engine and sails, it must be decided whether to call the ship a steamship or a sail ship. The decision will be based on what the ship used the main powers. If the engine is to propel by the engine, we call it is a steamship. But it's a riverside maybe using the wind, we call this vessel is a sail ship. Last is the barge. These are ships that cannot be self-propelled. Therefore, it must be either towed or pushed by another vessel or ship. So the barge is mostly pushed or pulled by a steamship with an engine, and it often used to ship cargo or collect and transport sand or the other cargos. So is a main point for in this definition. You have to classify what is the best style of the ship.